Welcome to Hearts and Stripes, your one-stop shop for all things military marriage. I hope our discussions and interviews equip you with the tools to start or grow a beautiful marriage as we address the benefits and challenges of MILF marriage. I believe life's most precious moments are worth celebrating, so I'll help you design your marriage blueprint in alignment with your core values. Thank you for joining us, and remember to rate, subscribe, and review. Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hearts and Stripes podcast. This is your host, Bree Carroll, and I am so excited to share with you on this heart to heart today. So I'm excited because I'm fangirling. I'm always fangirling on our guests just because we have some amazing people who come on Hearts and Stripes. And this one, she is just the sweetest person. Let me tell you a little bit about Melanie Simon. So she happens to be the 2020-2021 Seymour Johnson Air Force Base Spouse of the Year. She is a licensed esthetician. She's a skin enthusiast and a military spouse entrepreneur. So let me tell you, she also promotes mental health, self-confidence, and clean beauty. You'll hear all about how she started an initiative at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base called the Produce Run. It's an amazing initiative that started out of this desire to see people healthy in the community, and it did an amazing job of just feeding military families, especially during the pandemic. Melanie also has some exciting projects, which we'll talk about, that can help you boost your self-confidence, and I'm excited to jump into that. But before we do, I absolutely have to just say a huge thank you to Armed Forces Insurance. Armed Forces Insurance is actually the presenting sponsor for this episode and also for the GY6 virtual fashion show. So if you caught our last announcement, you know a little bit about the show. The GY6 virtual fashion show will happen on Valentine's Day, February the 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can RSVP for the show at www.gy6show.com. That's www.gy6show.com. Thank you, Armed Forces Insurance, for being the presenting sponsor for the show. Well, Melanie, welcome to Hearts and Stripes podcast. I'm so excited to chat with you. But first, I want to kick things off. You just have to share your military marriage story with us.
Oh my goodness. So I guess the quick rundown is that my husband was stationed in Goldsboro. I was living in Columbia. He's from Columbia. He came down to visit. We met at an IHOP. And
yes, IHOP love. Come on. Yes.
Yes, we met at IHOP, and for whatever reason, a lot of our dates after that continued to stay at IHOP. I mean, I had to test him, see what his, see what his tastes were like. So he definitely took me for sushi a couple of times, but we still end up back at IHOP. And it's just kind of like that reminder that, our marriage always comes back around full circle. We're constantly falling in love with each other all over again.
I love that. Yes. Yep. Get your fruity tooty fresh and fruity from IHOP. This is not sponsored by IHOP, by the way. But no, I love that because I can relate to having just those memories in certain places, and it's like your spot. So I love that you guys have a special spot. So shout out to the first date locations and for every meeting afterwards that you get to go back and reminisce and, like you said, fall in love all over again.
So true.
So that is exciting. Share a little bit about what you do as a spouse of the year and as an entrepreneur.
Okay. Well, so initially, I started out as an esthetician. I'd received my license in California. I thought I was going to work there in San Francisco with some awesome doctors in the area. And next thing you know, we got orders. So, what every military spouse I think can relate to is adapting. We moved to Goldsboro, North Carolina. Several things happened in the midst of, trying to get my business started, but eventually I was able to get up and running. And I really found the necessity to have a space where spouses and active duty really could come in and just breathe, and
Mm,
relax
yeah.
and just have a safe space. I think not too long after that, we started to learn about the suicide rates in the Air Force. And really having that space became even more important. Um, After that, I started to, I think, see the need for, I think, like budget friendly options when it came to taking a little bit of that stress off the
Yeah.
household.
Mm-hmm.
So we started an initiative called the Seymour Johnson Produce Run.
I love that.
And
I'm such a fan, by the way, because
oh,
I've seen
thank
you
you.
guys work, and I absolutely love that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, what it was, it was literally, I think, 11 of us. My husband was deployed.
Mm-hmm.
I was bored. My mom and I, we were just chatting it up. And I was like, you know what, Mom? I want to see what we could do at the farmer's market. Let's
Yeah.
just kind of see, let's see what it's like out there. So when we went the first time, I was like, gosh, these prices are really great. Like, imagine what we could do if we had like a whole family we were buying for. Next thing you know, like I posted on one of my pages, like, hey guys, I'm going to go to the farmer's market next weekend. If you guys want to like pitch in $5, we can all just kind of pool our money together and see what happens. Something huge happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got like a bunch of cucumbers and onions and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I think I could do this again, but let's up it to like, 10. And we put it together and we were just able to like feed our families just like this huge abundance. And we're paying a fraction of the cost,
Mm-hmm.
what we would if we were shopping at Walmart, or
Yeah.
any of
Yeah.
the other awesome places. But we were getting the opportunity to support local farmers. And
Yes.
then now our group has about 600 members in it. And
Wow.
we shop, I think, on average, maybe about 60, like in the 60 or 70 so range. A lot of people get multiple bags now.
Mm.
Um, yeah, like we get to support the local farmers. We are kind of bridging that gap between the community and the military community as well, because we're able to give back to some of the shelters in the area because we get
Right.
so much that we end up with extras. So I
Mhm.
don't know, just all around, I'm a big community builder, and that's what my initiative has been.
Yes, and I love that. And I think if I can, the common message there, you continue to keep creating spaces and opportunities and bringing people together around different areas,
Absolutely.
even from your personal space where you brought people in for self care. That became
Yes,
an opportunity for people to kind of unwind and just kind of like take those stresses that come with military life off. And then another component of, because people may think that that's it, just beauty, that's also health and beauty for
health
from
and
what you're
beauty.
doing to ensure that skin is healthy, um
Absolutely.
as well as incorporating that portion of getting good produce. I know a lot of times when you're in inner cities or areas, or even just having that fast-paced military life, you don't eat as well as you need to. So I
Not at
absolutely
all.
love seeing you guys come together, supporting those local farmers, and really getting
Hmm.
just feeding the military community, and even that overflow, right? That occurred,
Yes,
you were
yes.
able to impact the local community too. And I think the most encouraging part was just watching during the pandemic as you guys were just meeting the need for food
Yes.
was so huge. And I just
Yes.
thank you for serving in that way. I think that was
Oh,
absolutely amazing. And I know so many families are just grateful that just shared the idea that you have. It sparked something in the community, and that's awesome.
listen, it was such a huge pleasure. It was an honor seeing, this group that, it's initially about food, but it's such a peaceful topic, right? Like
Hmm.
there's no argument over food. There's no, it's like
Right.
it's a huge learning experience for a lot of people. as you know, we all try to figure out how to feed our families, what our families like. But what was happening was, even on the Facebook group that we created for it, people were sharing their recipes. They were sharing their photos or videos of their kids helping them in the kitchen cook. Like, we literally were uniting all of us over food. And I always say that it's never been anything that I could have done by myself.
Yeah.
You know, all like anytime I ever needed help, having people pitch in. And sometimes it's hard, especially as a military spouse, to remember to reach out to your community when you are in need, when
Mm-hmm.
you do need that
Mm-hmm.
help, even in the most simplest things.
Yeah.
We all would, collect over at, my house, and, bag food, bag produce, and just laugh and talk. And it's just that camaraderie among, especially when you
Yes.
get wives together, like, it's just,
It's a
you know what I
party, y'all.
mean? Yes. Oh, when I had my first baby, this happened. Or when you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? My husband wasn't here during my first delivery, or he was
Yes.
there, but he passed out, or,
Right.
like funny stuff, like really, really
Mm.
great things. And that's what this was. And I think that, we should always focus on building our community, because we have such an awesome community.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. And I love the fact that it just emphasizes that focus on community building. And I really do believe, even when it comes to our marriages, having the right community, healthy communities
Healthy
around your
communities.
relationship really
Yep.
does benefit your relationship, your marriage. And just a running theme I'm hearing is community building. We're talking
Yep.
about peace here, we're talking about health, and we're
Yep.
talking about beauty. And if I can, just harping off of beauty, I think one of the things that I love the way your messaging is postured, it really talks towards like confidence. You're building self-esteem as you're working with your clients and having people come into your space. And even now,
Absolutely.
as you go into more product focused areas, I love the concept of just building confidence. And I just wanted to get your take on, how do you think confidence impacts military marriages?
Oh, that's
Right. Deep breath, unpacking.
um it's a constant. First of all, I think people meet me simply because of what I do, and they think that that confidence is there, and
Mm,
it's not. It's a daily thing. It's a daily battle. I'm constantly trying to do a self check, like, okay, Melanie, like, we know that you're a different woman than what you used to be, but are
mhm.
you still where you want to be? You
That's
know,
good. Yeah.
and just really having that understanding that, I have to appreciate myself. I have to love myself. Not necessarily in order to be worthy of love by anybody else. I hate that message. But to make sure that everyone else also has that reminder that,
Mhm.
hey, I need that too. That
Yeah.
same nurturing that you get from me, I need a little bit of that too.
Mm,
Especially when you're away from family, like, there's you like, we, the regular echo has been, community throughout this conversation, but, especially at home, like,
mm.
that unit has to be really solid and really
Yeah.
strong there. And so, yes, building that confidence, that self-confidence, it's really key
Yeah.
for a lot.
Yeah,
A
I can
lot.
definitely say the same thing because I feel like our marriages go in like phases. And especially so early on in our marriage, I was really like, I felt very confident going into the
Hmm.
relationship. And then we
Right.
had kids, and I
Yep.
was wearing a different size. And I was
Yes.
trying to
Yep.
figure out who I was as a mom and a
Yep.
wife. And I
And a
don't look like
wife.
myself.
Yeah.
And I felt like my confidence level was just dropping, and it impacted my relationship with my husband in a way that was like, well, because I'm struggling with confidence things, I'm pushing you away in certain ways where you're just like, girl, you look good in them sweatpants. And I'm just like, you just saying that, like,
Right.
but
Right.
and it's really something that we have to acknowledge, like
Hmm.
confidence, self-confidence, like you said, it's something that you work on daily. You have to
Yeah.
love and appreciate yourself right where you are. And
Right.
also say to yourself, and I would still like to be and improve or in these areas a little more. And that's fine too. But
Yep.
just acknowledging that there is something that has to be appreciated in the now
Mhm.
and something to appreciate before. And I love how you even said, and I've grown from where I was. So that
Yeah.
self-confidence, it's a journey. It's not like, oop, I woke up this morning, snapped my fingers, and now I think I'm bad. Like,
No, we all
no.
can't be Beyonce every day, right?
No,
But
Beyonce can't be Beyonce every day.
Beyonce
Like,
can't be Beyonce every day.
nah,
You
no,
so it's so true.
she can't. I appreciate her though, but she can't.
Yes, I love it.
But yes, no, I love that, and I hope everyone out there takes the time to kind of think through how can they build their self confidence, and I love
Mm,
that you have some new and exciting ways to help people build that confidence.
yes,
Share a little bit about the exciting thing. Look, before I give it all the way away, share some
that's
of the
okay.
exciting ways to build self-confidence. What are some ways that they can connect with you and support some of these things that you have going on?
So, I like I said, I opened up a spa in Goldsboro, Spa Lorraine, and now we are moving into production for products. Skincare, body care, all of that. But part of putting that together was, gosh, I'm a military spouse and I have these products that I know that my clientele would love, right? But there's so many others. So
Mm-hmm.
what we did was pretty much start to source a lot of these products to bring a really awesome beauty and fashion type of subscription box to the military community. And you'll hear me stress that a lot, that it's not just exclusively military spouse, because I have a lot of active duty women and active duty men that
Yes.
come and see me.
Yes.
So it's definitely open to everybody. It's definitely one of those things that you can get something in this box and say, babe, I think you need to add this, hyaluronic acid to your
Yes.
regimen. Like, we're just kind of there to help and support in that way, and really build up that confidence that you're talking about. Because,
Mm-hmm.
really, we could do everything that we want to on the outside, but that later hopefully will translate into that inner confidence to just kind of keep you carrying and moving and pushing forward. And
Yes.
then when I noticed, like I told you about, having the initiative that we started, was that a lot of people like to talk about the things that we do. We do, and then we talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our
Mm-hmm.
do is our subscription box, our talk is our magazine.
I love that.
Chess Candy is our subscription box. But the magazine that complements it is called Candy and Valor. That's going to be releasing March 15th. We talk about fashion and beauty, and we're related all back to the military community. And we're just going to have some really awesome guests in there. We're going to talk about fitness, interior design, of course, skincare. That's a must.
Yes.
And just all the things that, all the fun and uplifting things that we really do like to indulge in this community. And we do so much traveling, and we live in so many different places that looks so different from one person to the next, that
Yeah.
we've got a lot to put together in this.
I
This
love
project
it.
is really never ending. Yeah.
So, what I am really excited about with Candy and Valor was in our conversation prior to, we talked about the concept of military lifestyle in the way that typically when people showcase military life, it's usually like kind of retro or kind of like frumpy, or like we're not seeing, and we have
Yes.
some amazing people in like fashion and beauty that are in
Yes.
this community.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I mean, we got Vogue level male spouses out here that you
So
don't
true.
see those pictures painted. They're just like common, average. And granted, sometimes we do live the just to the day to day. I love my sweatpants and my yoga pants.
Right.
But I
Right.
loved how you said like a lot of us are marrying young in the
Yeah.
military. Typically they're marrying younger.
Hmm.
And even if they are more mature when they are marrying, these are still very stylish people. Like these are still people who have a lot of energy and still want to, like you said, vacation and go out and look good and have a
Yep.
great time.
Yep.
And that's not really captured
Right.
in here.
We've got like a ton of Instagram influencers in
Mm-hmm.
the military. Like I'm still trying to live on their level, you know?
Right. You and me
I'm
both, girl.
right. I'm still trying to get on that level, but yeah, like that really should be celebrated. You
Yes.
know, and it's really hard to talk to somebody about, maintain your confidence, girl, when you don't really have a whole lot that's really speaking that language that you've been
Mm.
used to for so long, or at least that image of where you would like to be, even if you can't necessarily get to that. Like again, I'll bring Beyonce back into it because she knows she's my spirit animal, and we're just there. But um, she's at least my bar. Like I know that
Yeah, there you go.
she's at least my bar. But regardless, there are we've got people in our community that they're just really setting these awesome, like wonderful standards, and just kind of deserve to be celebrated. And
Right.
then
Right.
just the conversation alone is just it's what we're into. And yeah, I like to say that I don't want to necessarily say it's time to reinvent the military. The
Just change the
person
stereotype. I
There
think
you
that's really
go.
what it is. It's
It's
really
time to
just
change the stereotype.
I
Absolutely.
couldn't agree with you more. I think a
Yeah.
lot of those images that and also the images that we see for the influencers that we are talking about, a lot of times people don't even know that they're like military spouses. There
They
are
don't.
some that will put that out there and share that if they are providing messages to our community, but a lot are not. And you'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, and it's worth celebrating. And I think
Mm-hmm.
with your publication, with it being virtually, this is an opportunity to celebrate that fun and vibrant side of this community. And I'm
Yep.
really excited to
Mm-hmm.
see this drop for the magazine in March. It is going to be fantastic. And like you said,
Thank you.
you'll be doing have you'll have the do with your box guys, and then we're
Yep.
going to talk and chat about it in the
Yep.
publication. So I'm really excited about that. We will link to how you can get your subscription box and where you can go to check out Candy and Valor in the show
Yes.
notes so that you can stay in the loop on all the latest in fashion and
Yay.
beauty when it comes to this new magazine. So, if you could share really quickly
Mm-hmm.
what would be one statement that would kind of define or get people to know what this magazine is all about.
Gosh, I guess just really embracing inner confidence and beauty within the military community.
I like that.
That's it. Yeah.
I
That's
love
it.
it. Inner confidence and beauty within the military community.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be so exciting.
Yep.
And one of the things that I'll go ahead and share now, we are really excited because in that publication you'll be hearing more, or the post show of the GY6 fashion
Yay!
show. Woo! So we are really
Yes.
excited about the GY6
Me
fashion
too.
show.
Yes.
Our virtual show. It'll be live streaming on Valentine's Day. That's February the 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we are just
Mm-hmm.
really excited to join in what you are saying, celebrating the military community. We have veteran and military spouse designers who will be hitting the runway, showcasing their work, their creativity. And really, it's
Yes.
all about confidence. I'm excited that some of the models are either military affiliated. So either they are a military brat or they're a military
Mm-hmm.
spouse themselves or someone
That's
in
so
their family
cool.
has served. So there's a connection throughout this entire thing. So
Right.
huge shout out to everyone who will be tuning in to the GY6 fashion show. I know Melanie will be there. She's one of our VIPs who will be
Yay.
in attendance to
I'm
the
so
show.
excited.
Yes,
Yes, I'm so excited.
it
You
is going to
know,
be so much fun.
I've seen the things that you have put your name to, and so I just know that this is going to be amazing. I couldn't be any more excited
Yes.
to see this fashion show. It's gonna be
Yes,
amazing.
I'm excited to share. You guys can head over to GY6 Show on Instagram and get some sneak peeks as we show some of the behind the scenes. But the GY6 virtual fashion show will be presented by Armed Forces Insurance. First Command is also a supporter. We will have giveaways sponsored by Lift Chocolate. Shout out to Lift Chocolate. That is a
Yeah.
veteran owned candy company. So check out Lift. And then also, we have the big guns. Hershey is also going to be supporting giveaways. So we are really excited for everyone who is contributing to this venture. It's all about the chocolate. It's all about the
Yes, it is.
fashion. It's all about the
Yes.
confidence. That's what we are bringing
Mhm.
for this Valentine's Day season. And that is what you will also find in Candy and Valor.
Yes. Oh, I like that little plug there. I
Little
love
plug, just
it.
shameless plug. And I love that Candy and Valor, especially when the candy lines up with how we're doing this chocolate theme. I'm so here for it.
Yes. Yes. All things sweet with, the bravery mixed in.
I
So
love
it's
it.
awesome.
It's gonna be so fun, and I'm excited to check out the subscription box as well.
Yes.
So before we wrap up our chat, I do want to ask you, what is one piece of advice that you would give to military couples, maybe that military spouse or service member who's listening? What is one piece of advice that you would give them for their military marriage as it relates to confidence?
Oh, well, that's deep.
I know we go from chocolate to fashion, and we
Oh,
just gonna
okay.
jump all the way back in to
Oh my.
confidence. Pull it
Okay.
in.
um, Gosh, as it relates to marriage, I think, and my husband, I know that he's like somewhere grinning, like cheesing super stupid hard right now, but my thing has always been to just be super vulnerable and
Mm.
really, really just corny. Like,
Vulnerable
like
and corny.
vulnerable and corny. Like, we have like stupid, dorky jokes that we share with each other. Like, oh, we sing horribly in front of one another. He's seen me with my hair look awful. I've seen him when he wakes up in the morning and his breath smells terrible. Like, we like, just the vulnerability, I think, is just what
Hmm.
really adds to that marriage. And it's something that you're not going to be able to have or find with someone else. So being able to have that one person that you get to share just those little moments with, and keep that centered in your relationship, I think that's what's going to keep you always pushing and going strong
I
in a
love
marriage.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, vulnerability. No, true, because you have to be self-confident if you're going to be vulnerable with people. And
Yeah.
vulnerability is sexy, y'all. Look, we are
So
bringing
is.
we are bringing marriage back in style. We bringing sexy back. So you got to add vulnerability in there because
So
vulnerability is
true.
sexy. I love
So
that.
true.
You
So
are
true.
absolutely right. That's a great bit of advice. I'm excited for everyone to practice being vulnerable, boost self confidence with the subscription box, talk about it with the magazine, and just connect with you and continue to follow the journey that you are doing when it comes to building the community, keeping everyone healthy and confident. Where can our listeners connect with you?
So right now you can shop with us on shopspalleray.com. There's a lot of back work that's going into getting the magazine and subscription box social media, up running. Um, but for right now, that's where they can find a lot of our products. And then eventually a link to the subscription box and the magazine. And we'll be ready for you.
I love it. I
Can't
absolutely
wait.
love it. So we will have all of the links in the show notes so that
Yep.
you can stay connected and up to date with what's going on. Before I
Mhm.
let you go,
Mhm.
the heart tracks. It's my favorite part of the show. It is where I have our guests select the song that they feel should be the heart track for the episode. So, Melanie,
Yay.
share with us what today's heart track will be.
Um, I picked Jennifer Hudson, "Dressed Up in Love" from the Sex and the City soundtrack, which is
Nice.
perfect because right, it's confidence, it's fashion, but then she's in love and
That's
it's amazing.
beautiful. Yes, we are bringing marriage back in style. We are boosting our confidence. We are being vulnerable, and we are listening to Jennifer Hudson along the way. That's going
Yes,
to be the soundtrack to get you ready for the GY6 fashion show,
so true.
to get you ready. I mean, that's what we're going to do.
Yes. When I
Melanie,
wake up in the morning, I listen to this song. This is my first song. This is my get you
yes.
right, ready for your day, dancing around the house looking crazy song. This
Right,
is
right. Because we got to be
it.
corny and vulnerable, guys.
That's
Yes.
it.
That is it. Melody, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
being
much for
on
having
Hearts
me.
and Stripes.
Yes, thank you so much. It was an absolute honor. Thank you for the time and thank you for everything that you do for our community.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember to rate, subscribe, and review. This is Hearts and Stripes. We are the few, the proud, that aim high and are forged by love. Always ready, always there. We are Mill Marriage Strong.